Welcome back to Center Heist Productions. Please hit the likes and subscribe down below in the right hand corner. Muchly would appreciate that. And I want to thank my subscribers and followers. Muchly appreciate that. And I want a special statement here, just congratulating Hockey Junkie on his success of where his channel has gotten. Him and I've been pretty close. I've been with him ever since the very beginning, supporting him. And so I commend him. Great job, Matt. Keep it going as you will. That's been probably my favorite channel, and I kind of stick with reputable channels. Junkie, Knuckles and Island, Tony Marinero, Nick Kiprios, that type of look where you get pretty solid information, more so, and not things blown up. So anyway, with that being said, yeah, thank you for your support. If you could share it with your friends and family, that would be great. If you come across the channel, please don't leave without subscribing and hitting the likes, as we've built an integral Habs channel here, and we focus on with our statement of we avoid gossip. Land. That's kind of been what I do personally. I just don't like non-factual information. Rumors just don't do it for me. It causes havoc as far as I'm concerned, and a lot of things don't happen. You get one out of like 10 or 20 things that happens, so that's why we don't do it. So I tend to just discuss information as the chips fall, factual information. So thank you for that. And a quick ad, just to run by here, or contracting, please. If it's summertime and you may have many projects, landscaping, or just mowing the lawn, building decks, renovating your house, building a house, any of these type of projects, please contact or contracting. The ads on the cover page for contact information. Glenn Thomas is the owner's name. Know him quite well. Very honest man. You won't get it. Anybody on more honest in this type in the business world. Does quality work. So if you want reasonable rates and quality, please contact him and use user code Andrew. Okay, let's get to it now. We're going to discuss the latest signings of the Montreal Canadiens, which, yes, I know it was Sunday and it's a few days have gone by here, and we kind of were just waiting to see if a little more would happen. But anyway, I was very pleased that the 2-year contract, one-way contract that Jakob Dobish got. He well earned it. Pulled up to be a good, very good backup, showing his game does translate to the NHL, and I think it'll only improve. Got a good taste and good experience in the playoffs, and actually played very respectable. So I think this was a great experience for him and can only drive him forward that much higher. And I think the ceilings, where I don't even think we're close. Like I just think he has ways that he can bring his game yet, and I'm very proud of what this kid has done. I really like this goalie, and I think he is a part of the future. We know, there's a lot of hype on Fowler, and I love Fowler, but his game's got to translate to the NHL. So that's why I don't hype any player up until they show their stuff. Like Lane Hudson, I was worried about him when he first came in. I said very clearly, he proved me wrong. His size was what I was concerned about. I wasn't concerned about the rest of it, but his size I was. But he, freak of nature. So in that case, I kind of, every player has to go under the scope, and their game has to be translated. So we don't know where Fowler's game is. I'm hoping the projection, but we had a lot of that hype when Primo was in Montreal's system, when he first came up, all the hype of how good he was going to be. So we got to be very careful. And like I said, I do think the kid will be something, but and for me, we got enough goaltenders in the system anyway, but I do see the future being a 1-2 punch of Dobish and Fowler, or Fowler and Dobish, however you want to see it. But I something, and we have that Russian goaltender as well. Well, the first one. Lots of Russians now. I think there's 3 of them because we drafted 2, I believe, this draft. Anyway, we got a lot of them now. But anywho, I'm kind of leaning towards Dobish and Fowler as the future. I think as Dobish is nowhere near hitting his ceiling yet, and once he refines this whole game in development, I think you're going to see a quite well-rounded goaltender. He's definitely he's big, he moves well. Uh, Once he settles into his own, he just focuses on areas of weakness and works on them. I think you're going to see quite a complete goaltender. And then we just got to wait to see what's going to come of Fowler. And this is no knock against Monty. And Monty's a very respectable goaltender. He'll be our top goalie this year, most likely. I just don't see Monty as the future. After we get about 2 to 3 years down the road, I think we'll have goaltenders that will have pushed their way ahead. So that being said, congratulations to Dobish on your contract. Well deserving, this young man. There were a couple other signings, like seeing Trudeau get re-signed. This was a quality signing, and this is a good signing. Trudeau always kind of goes under the radar. Great defenseman, just good solid player, and he's one of those players. He's perfect for Laval as a leader. Great hockey player, and in a crunch, he's the type of guy that can jump into the NHL and fill a hole. He's got that capability. So I love that signing. Um, yeah, it just gives us a lot of stability in the back end and depth, which he's a depth player for sure. But I do foresee him as being a great leader for that Laval team. And again, he's a guy you can turn to fill a hole if there's injuries in Montreal. So great signing there. Congratulations, Trudeau. Then we had Sean Farrell signing. We kind of knew it because he had a half decent year. Now, what I'm going to say about this, and people aren't going to like it, I'm going to stick to my guns. This is a case where we just congratulations to Farrell for getting the contract. I do think he may be able to, may, mark my words here. This doesn't say because I see him more as an AHL player. However, if he cracks the NHL, it's not going to be in Montreal. This is a player that you throw in a package. So good on him. Congratulations. We're just not the team to have another small player. And I mean, we got LJ Mooney as another, little guy that we just drafted with tons of talent. And, I'm not big on those little guys because we got, too many as it is. But he's kind of really got some serious skill and looked good in development camp. But with all that many, you just, really, there's been many critics like Pierre Maguire, and I really firmly believe in what he said. Same thing as, oh my word, Craig Button, these guys, and I totally agree with them. You don't really want to have more than two small guys. It's really enough, and you can shelter them. So Sean Farrell, I can see being a part of a package or staying in the AHL, whichever. He'll probably be someone who wants to crack the NHL. So I honestly see Montreal having him as a trade chip. But congratulations on him. He'll do well in Laval. He's nowhere near going to make the Montreal Canadiens. Make no mistake about it. He's not there yet. You've seen how he is. I'm sorry, that light frame he needs to be on a team that can insulate him. We got enough. We still got to get bigger. So that's far off for us. We can't use another player like that right now, we really shouldn't be looking at it. So congratulations, good signings. Couple of hard ones it was hard to see, and I want to congratulate Yoel Armia, Mario Armia, as Chunky would say. I love this guy. When he came, what a turnaround when he went to Laval and came back. He's just been complete team player, and I honestly, this is one of the ones I'm a little more concerned about filling his void. Him and Heineman. However, Heineman, I think we've just replaced him with the Bolduc trade. And Baldock, don't underestimate this kid and the write up on him. I honestly see him if there's no center line. Second line center brought in. I honestly think he's going to be this on the wing of that second line. Honestly, I think it's going to be Demidov and him, and probably Doc in the center, and Newhook probably shared duties with Newhook and Doc. Although I just don't think either one of them should be at the center position anymore. I don't know what you do now. Doc, he's got a lot of work to do. That's all, a lot of proving to do. So that's a hard one. I'd like to see us. I've been adamant about us getting the second line center, but you can't rush the chips either. There's again so many channels are focusing on the rumors, and I can't go near that. Um, the team looks like it's improved. However, what I think my problem is, I love this. I love the Noah Dobson. I love the improvements. Noah Dobson, and then we're gonna have Demidov for a full season, right? That's totally awesome. I love Bolduc. I, I'm a little on the fence. I didn't like seeing Mayu traded. That's just me. But I do like what we got for him in Bolduc. So it's kind of I'm on the fence with that trade. I wish there had been a different direction we could have gone, and it seems like we've really placed all our chips in Rhinebacker, and I hope the Habs, and I would think they would, with the way they've been moving this team. I would think they know what they're doing with putting all their chips in the Rhinebacker. I'm just concerned with his injury um, history right now. If he can get out of that and start being healthy, that would be great. I do foresee him as being Lane Hudson's partner, Rhinebacker. And I think Mayu became expendable once we got Dobson because we have so many offensive defensemen now. Now it's the case of we need our defensive guys. We need a little more of that now just to add the lineup. And that's what I'm saying. We're waiting on Rhinebacker because we got Gooley and Jackeye. And I haven't heard anything on, and I'm sure that Struble will be, he's in their arbitration. Let's see what happens. For me, Struble, I'm sorry. I know he can play a little more stable sometimes than Jackeye, but at the same token, he doesn't bring that physicality, and that's a huge, 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 huge problem. His size, and if he can't bring the stability, I think he's a perfect seventh defenseman, and it'll be him and, for me, Enstrom in the future that will be in that role. So I do think, in my opinion, Struble is a guy that, if someone's interested, you could move from. And you may have to move from, actually, because what I've seen out of Adam Enstrom in Laval, this kid is going to be, he's just got to clean up a little more in the defensive zone. But this kid's really got a good hockey IQ, and does not shy away from the gritty end of the game. So I like his game. He actually looked, for me, if you were voting on who was the MVP of the Laval Rocket in the playoffs, for me, it was hands down Adam Enstrom because he was consistent every night, even when they went through that last series and looked awful. He looked like the guy that was solid. So, with that being said, we got an exciting season coming. But for me, as I wanted to get back to, this 2C thing is becoming a problem because we can't fill it and we don't want to rush and hit the panic button. I get that. And, the huge rumor of Caillou Matheson trade, at least I don't know, that's just why so many people hyping that up, and let's let the Habs do what they're going to do. Um, I just don't, that could be too costly of a trade if they want too much more. That's what you got to think. It's great if it's, and then you got to be able to afford it. You got to unload enough contracts because I believe he's over 8 million already a season. So you're looking at a pretty steep contract there. Would be a great addition. So for me, that the loss of Armia, Heineman, and Dvorak is what I'm concerned about. Yes, I do see an improvement. And I really like what we've done on the off season, but I do think we got an awful lot of holes to fill. And for me, there's only one centerman that looks ready from the younger group to make a move into the NHL, and I don't see anybody else ready to do that yet. Yet they will be, and that is Kapanen is the most ready. Let's be realistic. I mean, I think worst case scenario, you can slot him into the fourth line center role, and you may have to. Um, that's he's the only guy ready. Let's just put it that way. I heard Jack Eye things. Jack Eye needs another season down in Laval. Let's kid ourselves not. Looks good, like what's coming out of him, coming a long ways. He needs another year down. And I say, with Thorpe joining Laval, look out. Because for me, that kid, and I say, put your eyes and focus on this kid. He's going to be something. He's going to be, I honestly have a feel what we've seen in training camp of Thorpe at center, um, Jack Eye at the left wing, and Tuck on the right. I can see that being a line in the future, a checking line, a really solid checking line. But I do think Thorpe is going to need less time to convert his game to the NHL. You give him this season, and he might even make a move. They might make a move to take a look at him towards the end of the season in the lineup. So keep your eyes on Thorpe. I'm telling you now, this kid. I said it about Heineman, and things almost went wrong there, but he sure turned it around and came there. I mean, wishful thinking. I would always hope that we could remake a deal and try to get Heineman back. That's probably not likely because it was very clear in the reporting that it was not. There were other players offered when that trade was made for Dobson, and the Islanders were very out of the kids, and really Heineman was the only kid that translated to the NHL. So you could see why they did that. I would have done the same thing if I was a general manager. Uh, I hated to see him go because I love him, love this kid. And the same thing, Thorpe. It's probably even more so. I just see a massive. This guy is a guy that can bring it physically. He's got offensive talent up the yin yang. He can score. Goes to the dirty areas. He's got it all, and he can fight. He's got all the pieces of the puzzle, and don't be shocked if he moves past people. If he is in Laval this year, I can honestly see him bypassing in his development past several of the Habs down in Laval. And I'm sorry, we have to move on from Sean Farrell at some point. And Waugh, as much as I like to Waugh, he just I don't know what it is mentally, and he just seems a couple steps behind, and I don't know what it is, but I think size wise we don't have enough. We need physicality, and those two just don't have it. So we can give up on those. Those two can be pizzas. So sorry, but that's just the way I see it. Unless there's a massive turnaround in Waz game, and I don't know. I just don't see it translating as far as I just think there's too good a competition. I just think Kapanen's the most ready, and I think there's guys like Thorpe, like you say, and even Jack Eye knocking on the door. Um, they're knocking on the door in the future here, and just wait till we get the rest of them, like these kids that have they still got to finish their junior careers. You wait till they get to Laval. There's some of them that are just going to be they're going to rocket through and bypass some of these guys, these smaller players, and that's why I say these smaller guys are going to end up having to be trade packages. Whether teams want them, that's going to be the question mark. So with that being said, great signings, and we had Del Gaizo or something, a defenseman signed as well, and Kerman or something like that. Anyway, a couple extra signings, and those were good signings to solidify the defense for good AHL level talent. So those are good signings, and I'll say one more thing too that I want to bring up very briefly. Watch out with Sammy Blaze. because I think he's the perfect, and I think that's why they got him as being the replacement for Mike Pizzetta. And you look at both of these players, Sammy Blaze is going to be a way better. He's a much better player than Michael Pizzetta. Sorry to say that. I think we will all like what Sammy Blaze brings to the game because he doesn't let up and he's got a little bit of talent there as well. So he's got a better IQ, way better IQ than Mike Pizzetta. So I just wanted to congratulate the ex-Habs as well that moved on, and it's hard to watch them. Like I said, we could, I think when we double taked it, he was made it clear he wishes he would have had a chance to get Armia, but LA wasted no time. You can't blame them, and that's probably due to the connection of Bergevin. But I think we started looking back and saying maybe we should sign Dvorak, but then Philly jumped in on him fairly quick, and he got a good. I don't think we were paying the money Philly was for one season, 5.5. That's too much for Dvorak. But boy, we could have used him if we can't find that second line center. But it is what it is, and I think, like I say, I do think we're improved. The problem is the guys who have left, like that Heineman, Armia, Evans line. That was a beautiful line and great penalty killing line. Two of them, Armia and Evans, and Dvorak as well. So that's three guys that great on the penalty kill. That's going to suffer. That's going to suffer. Now, the good thing is Balduke is supposedly got a good defensive game, so we'll probably be on the penalty kill. Other than that, we're still going to have some experience. It's going to be hard to fill the void unless some of these kids jump on it and take it, or we find a second line center in a trade. I don't know how that's going to happen. I still think we got a bit of a how would I put it? I think we got a bit of a logjam on defense still, where I think something may have to be done in the near future. Although Mike Matheson's in his last season for me, maybe you don't re-sign. That's all I can say. He'll fit in nicely because he's a better player. And yes, he makes mistakes, but he would fit in nicely, especially if he was moved to the third pairing. Can you imagine? But I think he's going to be with Truthfully, I'm going to give you a real rundown here too. I think your lineups right now, as they stand, your first line's your first line. Caulfield, Suzuki, Slab. Actually, you know what? I'll make a separate tape for that. Okay. But I think we all know that's the first line. But anyway, this tape's getting a little long and I only have a 30-minute window on this. So thank you for watching. Congratulations to the boys. Like what the Habs are doing, but we got some work to do. Thank you for watching. Please hit the likes and subscribes. You've seen it here where the puck drops first, Central Heights.